Good morning, friends. I'm Dr. Yogesh Sarode of Jivan Vikas Mahavidyalaya Devgram. I welcome you all in this session. Today, we learn about the new poem, A Psalm of Life, composed by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, H.W. Longfellow. Now, don't confuse here with the word Wordsworth. Wordsworth is different. This is Wadsworth, Wadsworth, Wordsworth, and that is Wordsworth, Wordsworth. So the poem A Psalm of Life is composed by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. This is very important and to some extent philosophical poem as far as life is concerned. Let us see what the poet says in this poem, what are his feelings about the life. So before going to the details of this poem, let us have a short introduction of the poet. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow was born on 27th Feb 1807 and took his last breath on March 24, 1882. He was an American poet and educator whose works include Paul Revere's Ride, The Song of Hiawatha, and Evangeline. He was the first American to translate Dante's Alighieri's Divine Comedy and was one of the fireside poets from New England, just like Robert Frost. Longfellow was born in Portland, which was then still part of Massachusetts. He studied at Bowdoin College and became a professor there, and later at Harvard College after spending time in Europe. His first major poetry collections were Voices of the Night in 1839 and Ballads and Other Poems in 1841. He retired from teaching job in 1854 to focus on his writing and then lived the remainder of his life in the Revolutionary War. His first wife, Mary Potter, died in 1835 after some difficulties in life. So, Longfellow wrote many lyric poems known for their musicality and often presenting stories of mythology and legend. He became the most popular American poet of his days and had success overseas. No doubt, he has been criticized by someone, however, for imitating European styles and writing specifically for the masses. Now, this is about Longfellow. Now, if you come to the theme of this poem, we find that the Psalm of Life has two major themes. It is framed as a dramatic monologue spoken by the heart of a young man to a psalmist. Now, who is a psalmist? That you know, psalmist means a writer of song in a church, a writer of hymns in a church. Many times that is a young person does not marry. So, it is assumed that he is the happiest person in the world. So, not two themes, but one important point here is that the poem is framed in a dramatic monologue spoken by the heart of a young man, and that heart of a young man speaks with the psalmist. And second, in the poem, speaker declares that living in the present is more godly than the kind of austere and restrained life the psalmist lives or champions. सामिश लोग, चर्च में रहने वाले, हाइम्स बनाने वाले जो रहते हैं, उनसे कहीं ज़्यादा अच्छा है प्रेजेंट में रहना। किसका? यंग पीपल का। सो दिस इज़ व्हाट द हार्ट ऑफ दैट यंग मैन सेज। Friends, apart from this, if you come to the theme of this poem, crux of the poem, let us have a brief overview of that also. The Psalm of Life was written by the New England poet and Professor Henry Wadsworth Fellow. It was first published in 1838 in the New York Literary Magazine. The poet was inspired by a conversation between Longfellow and fellow professor. As such, the poem is framed as a dramatic monologue spoken by the heart of a young man to a psalmist. In this poem, the speaker declares that living in the present is more godly than the kind of austere and restrained life the psalmist champions or lives or enjoys. In doing so, the poem captures the spirit of the day. The subtitle frames the poem as a dramatic monologue spoken by young man's heart to composer of biblical psalms. First, the speaker begs the psalmist not to sing to him in numerous sorrowful ways about how life is empty and unreal. I'm telling you not the interpretation, but just the crux of the poem. In this poem, first the speaker begs the psalmist not to sing to him in numerous sorrowful ways about how life is empty and unreal. In the speaker's opinion, the soul that passively experiences life is essentially dead. Moreover, one should not assume that life is merely how it seems from a certain Christian perspective. That is just a precursor to eternal life after death. Life, the speaker demands, is very much real and full of meaning. Life, the speaker adds, is sincere and intense. The meaning of life is not simply death. The Christian saying of dust to dust, D-U-S-T, dust to D-U-S-T, dust, which states that humans come from the earth or dust and return to dust upon death, which only refers to the body and not the soul. So the soul should be full of life. It is not actually the indulgence or misery that should be humanity's destiny or goal. Rather, the speaker declares humans should act in such a manner that creates progress day by day. Acts and products of human creativity last a long time. However, time passes quickly While human hearts may be strong and courageous, nevertheless, they beat like quieted drums within bodies. Ultimately, with each beat, they bring humans closer to their death. And therefore, the songs these hearts produce are like funeral marches. The speaker then compares the world to a great battlefield. Life, he says, he adds, is like a temporary camp without shelter. Therefore, the speaker commands, don't be like silent cattle who are herded about. Rather, be a hero amidst the conflict of life. He further says, don't place any certainty. The speaker advises, in future, no matter how positive the future may seem. And additionally, don't dwell on the past. Rather, the speaker suggests one should live in the present wholeheartedly and in plain view of God who watches approvingly above in heaven. The way that great men have lived their lives inspires and reminds others individuals to consciously live in a godly and spiritual manner. Moreover, the speaker adds, when these individuals die or take his last breath from this earth, they will leave traces of their lives behind. These remnants, these left behinds and memories of godly and spiritual lives can go on to inspire others who might also be progressing over the great ocean of life. These other individuals might feel miserable, abandoned, and lost in this ocean. However, upon seeing examples of godly and spiritual lives, they will be inspired and saved. Therefore, all of humanity, the speaker advises, should seize the day. Seize the day. Moreover, they must live life wholeheartedly and fearlessly. While making progress and seeking improvement, human will learn to struggle and apply themselves as well as have patience. So, this is what Henry Wadsworth Longfellow wants to convey his message through this poem, A Psalm of Life. So, friends, in the next video, we will see the recitation and comprehension of stanzas, and in sequence later on we will see interpretation part also. So for this it is sufficient. We'll meet in the new video. Thank you. Good day.